Hi everybody. Merry Christmas and every holiday you've celebrated. Today's December 30th. The year's almost over. The sky outside looks like a scene from Neil Gaiman's Coraline, and I just I feel kind of let down because I got an email today saying I got 100 followers, and I was kind of excited, you know? But it turns out, apparently, that someone had unfollowed and someone else had followed, so I'm back up to 100 on tonygraph.wordpress.com. So that was a bit of a letdown. Either way, not going to let that hold me back. In fact, I'm thinking of putting a third unpublished Juniper Crescent novel on the website for people to read. I hadn't published this originally because it felt like it was transitioning between my voice as a writer. I had started Juniper Crescent with just a very exploratory and open-ended mind with that story, and now it felt like by the time I had written Haloteris was the second one, and then Valence Drive, the third one, kind of had a little bit more set-in-stone type voice as far as writing goes, so I wasn't too keen on publishing it. But with next year and my goal of Warscribe coming out, there's going to be something different about that. So, Warscribe's coming out next year. I'm going to get that edited, cleaned up, and fixed up. So, is anyone even interested in Valence Drive? If so, let me know in the comments below. Hit me up on Facebook, Imager, Pinterest. I think I'm still active on Tumblr. But writing is very, very interesting. I started a writing project recently that was just sort of I wonder if I could. I'd always admired Terry Pratchett and his ability to describe a scenario without describing anything about the scenario, just everything around it. That's a very useful skill, and as an author, that's the one critical thing between success and not success, is being able to show what's going on without simply telling what's going on. And in my understanding, that's the difference between fanfic and novels. Fanfic can be wonderful, but fanfic as a writing style is very too much in your face. Whereas novels and genuine voice gives it a sense of identity, gives it a very unique feel to it. So I think that's the part of writing that is the hardest part and the easiest part. The easiest part is you get to describe yourself inevitably. No matter what you're writing about, no matter what your topic is, you end up talking about who you are, what you believe, and what's important to you. But then the hardest part is you're still writing about you. Because inevitably there's no such thing as a new idea. Take, for instance, the Lunar Chronicles, which I finished reading recently and thoroughly loved. No new ideas. It's the story of Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, and Rapunzel. That's it. Cyborgs aren't new. Half-wolf soldiers definitely aren't new. But it's the way that Marissa Myers was able to describe what's going on, how she presented these characters, and how she was able to show something going on instead of simply telling what's going on. And I've made a couple of videos about show versus tell and everything like that. So I wanted to write something a little bit more, Terry Pratchett style. So, I had a friend who was completing a NaNoWriMo, talked about a horror comedy that she wanted to write about this picturesque 1950s family that was actually a group of cannibals. And I thought it was going to be funny. There's a lot of opportunity for funny stuff to happen in there. But with the speed and progress you have to keep up with for NaNoWriMo, hers ended up becoming really dark and cultish really quick. So my brain said, well, maybe you could use this opportunity. So I've started this writing project called Any Other Family. I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to have some horror with it. And it's going in a direction I'm not entirely sure I had planned on. I mean, even my wife, who's totally not interested in this book, had a couple laugh out loud moments reading it. So, I don't know what that's gonna happen. Wow. Okay, an English major, and I can't even make a good sentence. Yeah, so I've got that I'm working on. My first draft of Critical is almost done. My wife is helping me edit Warscribe. Setting Berserker on the shelf to ferment for a little bit, which is the sequel to Warscribe, and that's one I have a lot more pride in. Not that I didn't have pride in Juniper Crest and Hallow Terrace, but Warscribe is something where I feel has a little bit more of my voice as Tony Graff. I think with Juniper Crescent, I tried to play to the crowd, play to what people wanted, which inevitably never works. I mean, I had grasped the idea of don't bother trying to please other people because you'll always fail at it. But in writing, I thought I was displaying my voice until I kept asking the wrong questions. Instead of what do I think needs to be told about the story, why am I writing this story, it was what can I pull from books that I like. And I ended up grabbing what I thought were valuable and popular factors. Inevitably didn't work. So, bit of a letdown, but I'm progressing. I am making progress, and that will always be a good thing. Let's see how that works out. I'm changing work areas at my job, so there may or may not be the same amount or less time for writing. I know there's going to be less time for at least the first couple of weeks. And I'm going to be dedicating a little bit more time to getting into shape because, once again, I'm fat. I don't like being fat. Last time I weighed myself, I was back up to 185, which when I started this job, I was 185 with 15 pounds of equipment on. And at this time next month, I'm doing a 4-mile fun run called the Abominable Run. You get a long sleeve shirt and hot cocoa at the end. But I'm doing that because this is a goal. When I tried to exercise just for the sake of exercising, it didn't work. I couldn't do it. I hadn't been consistently exercising since about September. But I have a goal I'm working towards. Can I do these 4 miles? Can I do these 4 miles under these circumstances of it's going to be cold, there's going to be obstacles, can I do this? And that's been a lot of motivation. I like how that worked out for me. Okay. Comments below. 1. Do you want Valen's Drive? Do you want access to it? 2. Tell me about your writing. Let me hear your stories. Okay? I love you all.